So it is with great pleasure to welcome Scott Geller to the stage.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Wow. I love ASSC. I love you guys. You know why I love you? Because you want to learn. You want to learn. It's not about staying where you are. It's always about moving forward. What about the speaker this morning, right? Peter Sheehan, he said, give up some of your old stuff, you know. Don't get so ego involved in some of your old stuff and move on. So how many have heard me talk before? Wow, when you came back. How many have never heard me talk before? About a 50-50. Well, first I need to apologize for those who have heard me talk before, because there will be some overlap. Because I've been saying some things for like 30 years that we haven't been changing. We still stick with our old ways. And it really bothers me, so I apologize. But here's what I want. I want you to hear me as a teacher. No, not me the teacher, you the teacher. You are an elite group of professionals, of leaders. Notice I call that safety management errors. Leaders don't make these errors. This is not to denigrate managers. We need managers, but managers can be leaders. And what I want to talk about here today are some of the ways we can become leaders rather than just managers. And I said that wrong. I don't mean just managers. We need managers, but managers can inspire people to be self-accountable. See, that's the deal. When it comes to safety, we hold people accountable for the numbers. How many engineers? I'll slow it down. No, I'm just kidding. But let's face it, man. You're into numbers. And nothing wrong with that. But we're talking psychology for 15 minutes. I only get 50 minutes, so forgive me. I'm going to talk quickly. And some of you have heard this before, but I want to review 20 errors. You know, it was 1971 when I heard Dr. Edwards Deming give a 4-day workshop. Changed my life. He rocked my boat. And here's the point. He was not a happy camper. He was 91. That's one problem. But the other issue is he was seemingly impatient. See, he tried to teach his concepts and principles to us in the 50s. We didn't listen. We were fat cats. We were individuals doing our own thing. And he went to Japan. And he taught them the principles. Some of you are perhaps old enough to know what made in Japan meant in the 50s. Cheap toys. His principles turned it around. They have a Deming Prize in Japan to the company that shows the greatest improvement in quality, all to recognize Deming. So here I am, nowhere near that great man, but I've been saying things over and over, and people seem not to be listening. Maybe you are. You've been listening. But your challenge is teach somebody else, okay? Teach somebody else. Asserting all accidents are preventable. What's wrong with that? That's an oxymoron. First, the word accident. What does that imply? It implies you can't control it. The 3-year-old comes through me and smells something funny. Ooh, he had an accident in his pants. What did you mean? He couldn't help it. That's what it sounds like. You know, it was just an accident. And accidents happen to people. That's what our President Clinton said when he bumped his knee. And he didn't say this, but in the back of our minds, it's, when it's your time, it's your time. Why don't you call it an injury? Why don't you call it a hurt? Why don't we connect emotion to this? Oh, now we call it incident. Oh, really? How serious does that? Incidentally, we had an incident. By the way, you know what the psycholinguistics say about the word incident? It means intentional. We had an incident at Virginia Tech, 2007. That was an incident. Still, but incident, it's a hurt, man. Or it's a close call. I almost got hurt. All accidents are preventable. Oxymoron. If we can't control, we can't prevent. Now, we do have accidents. I've been fighting cancer for 10 years. Some of you know that, and I so appreciate you asking me how I'm doing. It makes me emotional. I realize that with social support, I'll keep going. I'm not a cancer survivor. I'm surviving cancer. And that was an accident. If I knew what to do, I would not go through that. I did everything I knew. So sometimes we don't know how to prevent them all. But all accidents are preventable is an oxymoron. It's like plastic silverware, jumbo shrimp, legal brief, constructive criticism. Oh, give me a break. Now here's one. How about this one? Online training. Online training? And training means you do the behavior and I give you feedback on your behavior. That's training. I can do online education. I can give you some awareness. Online training? They're oxymorons. I'm a stickler on language. Some of you know how we talk will influence how people feel. So we have to use the language that people can relate to. How about this? Setting 0 accidents as a safety goal. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, Geller, I know. You want it to be a vision.